All right, your wish is my command. So I'm doing this. This is a very quick video. I don't really feel like doing it, but hey, said I would, so it's whatever. Anyway, so these are some of the magnets. These are leftover magnets from when I had my 58X. Um, I've given my 58X to my brother. He really enjoys it. Specifically, the mod I'd recommend if you want to change the sound and add comfort is to just specifically go ahead and swap over to Deconi pads, specifically the Elite Velours, is what I really appreciated using. Excuse me, sorry about that. With the Elite Velours, they're very soft, so comfort is improved. They add a little bit of extra distance between your ear and the driver too. So for some people that maybe were having some comfort issues because of their ears touching the driver, it may help on that. Um, it's just a certain situation. But anyway, so we're talking about the magnets. So we're just gonna use this glorious stand in here, the Nighthawks. Love these great headphones. Really, really interesting. But specifically here, so these are 1.6 Tesla N52 magnets. These are the exact size of what the back of the driver that's exposed in the 58X is. So these, are some of the ones that I used. These are incredibly powerful magnets. Unless you're using some type of adhering material, you're probably not going to get one to stick that's this powerful. You just won't be able to do it by hand. It'll just be too difficult, in my humbling opinion. But hey, maybe you're just going to He-Man that on there. You need to worry about driver excursion. And if you have too much magnetic force on the back side, say that driver will excur, the actual voice coil will move too much or rub against the side as it's moving because of unbalanced magnetism, on it. You can run into issues. So that's specifically why I only suggest doing a magnet mod unless you're, really intelligent. You can do it in a professional manner, something along those lines. So this is the other magnets, the ones that I recommended to even Zeos on that. These are pretty interesting. They're ring magnets. These fit perfectly around the exterior of the actual, the magnet that would be in the back. So you'd have your base port hole, and then you would almost have most of the back of the magnet structure visible. If you were to install one of these, this one specifically is, I don't remember, man. Maybe 1 Tesla. Maybe it's weaker. I know that for sure these are weaker than those other ones. So these are not going to have as big of an impact, if it's going to have any impact at all, on the driver itself. I did like using these on the sound. The thing is that if you install it improperly, I did measurement testing. I didn't delete anything online. It's still available, so you can look it up. Just type stacking magnets, stuff like that. Do your homework. Anyway, I did testing on it where if you look at it, there's a peak that they actually use the increased magnetic flux on the voice coil to reduce. They electrically dampen it. And so as far as that goes, whenever you install these improperly, like on the opposite side, whenever it's attracting rather than repelling, the issue that you get is that peak goes up. And so you get a glare because there's nothing that's dampening that. Even though the bass response improves, it's still essentially get a more V shape. It's really unpleasant on that. So figure, it's something to mess around with. In my experience, I didn't hear anything unpleasant when using these. Never had any issues. The other ones, I think it's just too much force on the driver unit, and it causes problems on it. Because I think I heard an issue maybe once or twice, something like that, and it scared me, so that's what you get. But when you install this initially where it's repulsing and then you slap it on there anyway, it stays in place because for whatever reason, this has a much wider magnetic field compared to the other one, where, as in, like, the default magnet's much, how can I put that to you? It focuses its flux in a smaller area, and since this is larger, you'll pick up some of the strays, and it will, it will allow it to attract, even though it's supposed to be used as a bucking magnet. So it's pretty interesting. It'll work when you do that. If you want to, it's worth a shot. I mean, again, for me, it did improve bass response and performance. But you just gotta not be afraid. Just like with any mod, if you're opening up your hardware, be prepared to potentially completely destroy it. I have a friend that had an issue with M1060s where he was trying to install an aftermarket headband, because we all know that the M1060 headband is absolutely horrible. And what he did is he accidentally destroyed one of the drivers because he was working on it, trying to remove the driver from the housing to be able, or actually remove the headband from the housing. And when he did that, it right through the driver. So, a screwdriver. So whenever you're doing a mod, you just have to be prepared to fail. Okay. If it's the only headphone you have, just try to take care of your stuff. Okay. If you're confident in knowing your abilities, by all means. All right. But, that's why I even said in the comments, I was trying to be clear on that. I feel that if you know what you're doing, you may be able to get an improvement off of 58x. I know other people have modified other headphones that, because again, you look at the price, they manufacture a product to a price. Okay. There's a chance that maybe they did not use the best materials, whether it comes into build, this premium build. Ooh, yes, nice. Or they cheap out on the actual driver unit itself. And if there's a chance for you to be able to open up that enclosure, try to add a properly installed bucking magnet and improve the magnetic flux on that driver unit to improve its response, then why would you not do that? There's no reason to not do that. So that's my 2 cents on it. I'm not going to talk about this ever again because I beat it to death. I know that there's plenty of people that are angry, torching pitchforks online. I'm sure that they can figure out the rest themselves. But anyway, that's it. So hope you guys like the update. Again, I never damaged the headphones. I just chose not to install magnets on it anymore because the risk was there for me where I just didn't want to. And instead, I actually, if you do own them, modifying with headphones, there's a thing, or earphones, sorry, IEMs, there's a thing called micropore tape. And you can actually try to use that to dampen the driver instead of just using felt or anything else that DIY Audio Heaven, I think, is the website. What they suggest, like foam, different stuff like that to dampen the driver, and the base port on the actual magnet assembly. You can try to, use micropore tape, something along those lines, and see if the response is where you want it. I mean, again, it's a basic platform that you can make changes to. So make changes to it if you want to. You have my approval. I've destroyed a pair of, Fostex T 20 RPs because I kept trying to mod them to make them not suck. And I could not do it. And, straight up broke the solder joint on the driver. So, driver no go because solder joint's destroyed for the driver unit. So, yeah, man, just take chances, if you want to. But have a good evening.